Jim Ross, finally feeling a little bit back to myself for the first time in about 7 days. So the smile is back.
Good for you, man. Good for you. The surgery, which is often the case, once the doctor gets where they're going internally, they find sometimes things are worse than they thought going in. That was your case. But it sounds like the surgery was successful and all the issues were repaired.
Yeah, that was the case. Obviously, we'd done a lot of scans beforehand, which showed like a pretty good labrum tear. But I guess when they went in with the scope, they found, a labrum tear that was like, 180 degrees, which was, twice as big as they expected. Plus, there was some bicep issues, some pectoral issues, and then there was actually some bones broken in there. So they were kind enough to give me the bones in a jar, which I have on my mantelpiece right now.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a nice little decoration.
Well, if you ever get down your luck, ladies and gentlemen, you see on eBay that Finn is auctioning off his bones, you'll know that times are rough. Well, that's good. Hey, you went to a great place. I was going to ask you about that. It's got to be reassuring that you went to. As soon as you were able to fly, WWE had you on a plane headed to Birmingham, Alabama, because they are so renowned there with Dr. James Andrews' group, and so that had to make you feel good, because even though have you never been to Birmingham, have you, for medical reasons?
I don't think I'd even been there for professional reasons, to be honest. But oh my God, the way WWE treated this situation is just blown me away. Obviously, I only found out on Monday before Raw at 5 p.m. that I was going to need surgery, and by I think 9 p.m. they had it all set up that I was getting operated the next afternoon. Yeah. So I had to check out of the hotel 3 a.m. We had a 5 a.m. flight to Birmingham, Alabama. We're in the hospital by, I want to say, 9 a.m. getting prepped for the surgery. So hats off to WWE. They couldn't have done a better job of making sure that not only was I getting the best treatment, but obviously the most prompt as well,
Yeah, obviously. They fly charter or do you fly commercial?
No, it was commercial, but it was business all the way, because of this arm and a big sling, so I needed plenty of room.
Trying to get to board early, special treatment. Yeah. That's good. Extra bag of nuts. It's always good. It's always good there. So the Birmingham trip was good. You got out of there pretty quick and got back to Orlando where you're living. I'm just wondering, now that you're in the process, what's an average day like? Because now you're training. Now this really painful, hard work is getting ready to commence for several, long days. And so what's a day like now? Now that you're focused on getting healthy, what's the day like for you in your rehab?
Well, I guess the biggest change to my days is the fact that I now have to sleep in a lazy boy chair for the next 6 weeks. So, this sling that they have me in keeps my arm raised at 45-degree angle from my body. And they're worried that if I sleep on my back, I'll roll around and, I'll tamper with that. So I'm to sleep kind of semi-upright for the next 6 weeks, make sure that everything sets right. And then, I'll be doing 2 sessions of rehab at the Performance Center. We got an incredible medical team down at the Performance Center in Orlando. So I'll be in with those in the morning. I'll rest for lunch, come back in the afternoon. That's the plan for the next 4 weeks, I think, and then we're going to reassess, and I'll probably head back out to Birmingham and do some stuff out there with their Champions rehabilitation facility.
Now, the original diagnosis was estimated 6 months away to heal. I hope that you don't make that an issue. I hope that if it's 6 weeks, or 6 months rather, that it's 6 months, and not try to get back in 4 3/4, or I can get back in 5 1/2.
I guess the original diagnosis was 4 to 6, but I guess when they found out the extra, problems in there, they said it's going to be a hard 6. Now, I could try and shave some time off that, but I'm not gonna. If I'm ready before 6 months, I'm gonna make sure that when the time comes around at 6 months is there, I'm gonna be better than ever. So
in 6 months, the deal is in 6 months, now you're in WrestleMania season.
Exactly.
So hello. I just don't understand. I would not take any chances to have any sort of relapse. Is my point. You got that figured out. So next thing goes. So your days are full of rehab, 2 a days. It's a job, right? I mean, this is like clocking in and clocking out at a factory.
Yes.
You got to go to work in the morning, and that work is rehab.
Absolutely, yeah. This is, we'd be busy on the road, but I think I'm just going to be as busy now because I'm going to be more reluctant to take days off. If I can do rehab 7 days a week, I'm going to be doing it.
Hey, look, I say this. I finally talked myself into this at 64. My gym is open all the time, 7 days a week. I live about 3 minutes from it, and I'm home. If I'm home, why not go? That's my deal. Why not go? So anyway, I'm with you. Why not go? 2 a day. Because, look, the little gains you make are motivating. When you get better, where you can move that arm a little bit more, and you can do this, and you can pick up something, that's all motivating. Those are wins. There's little wins there, every time. Rollins has been now, and it's been talked about, that he's a dangerous performer. He's a dangerous worker in the ring. And, I never noticed that. I don't believe that to be true. That's me. You got hurt working with him, and some other people have been hurt working with him. I have an opinion on it, but what's yours?
Well, people are entitled to their opinions, but as far as my opinion goes, is that I've been hurt a lot of times working, and it was never with Seth Rollins. Obviously, if you work a lot, you get hurt occasionally, and this was just happened to be a coincidence that I was in there with Seth. As far as I'm concerned, Seth is one of, if not the best, performer that we have in this business, and I think all the slack he gets is totally unwarranted.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think this. Do you think that maybe some guys, not talking about Seth specifically, but he is in that general grouping, I should say, that some guys work too fast, that they may do more than they need to do? Out of hustle, out of heart, out of passion. I get it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that I see from, I call the New Japan matches on Friday nights on Access TV with Josh Barnett, and it's fun doing the New Japan stuff. I didn't get in on your run there, but it's still a good product. But man, they do a lot of things. They do things that you wonder, why'd you do that? Why did you sell? If you'd have sold longer, then that would have, what you did before would have made all the difference in the world. But instead, you're up doing something else already. I don't know, and it's out of balance psychologically. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say here?
I kind of do, but you got to remember that when you're out there in front of the people and the people are reacting, sometimes you just lose the run of yourself. And I get excited when I'm out there, and some days I'll think, I don't need to do something, and the crowd are reacting. And classic case was back in maybe 2009 in Best of the Super Junior. I was against Kanimoto, and I was going to do a baseball slide, and I hit the ropes on the backside, and the crowd came, and I said, hell, I'm just going to do a dive. And I've done a flip dive over the top rope, and I completely missed him, and landed on the barrier. So, these things happen. People lose their own themselves sometimes, but, it's going back to Seth, any kind of slack he gets about being unsafe is completely ridiculous,
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that there are certain moves. I think there's things in the business. I'm one of the old time guys, Finn. I love the business. I watch a lot of the product, and I immersed in it. It's been my life. But I do think that there's a smarter way to wrestle than I see some guys wrestling. And again, I'm not going to single out anybody because I'm not throwing people on the bus. But I know that the art of selling is fading a little bit, and those that understand it and understand that aspect of the psychological presentation of pro wrestling can become really great at what they do. And that's kind of devoid of, in some guys, routines these days. So this is my thinking. So anyway, and I might be wrong. Hey, everybody likes your stuff. I'm going to watch it anyway. I really am. That's part of the great thing about being a wrestling fan is you can watch it and bitch about it, and then you can say, "Well, I did differently." And then next time they come on TV, you're watching it again. So it's part of the process. Do you still watch a little New Japan?
Believe it or not, I've not watched any New Japan since I left there 2.5 years ago.
Wow!
I've not watched one match. It's funny, I guess I'm so focused on what I'm doing right now and trying to kind of throw myself head first into what I'm doing now that I don't really want to be distracted by, different styles or, what was the past because, don't get me wrong, I loved my time in New Japan and, I've still got a lot of friends there and, the work is incredible. But it's not something that I want to be influenced by right now. So I think that, kind of going back and watching that is just going to kind of, set me back.
I'm with you. Yeah, I can understand that. Psychologically, it might. And, hey, while you're, will you pick out wrestlers that while you're off, so to speak, you're not traveling, you're not off, but you're not going to the airport every week.
Yep.
Will you pick out certain wrestlers that you'll watch DVDs of or watch the WWE Network specifically for a certain talent or a certain match to help refine your game and to pick up little bits and pieces of information and that you can utilize?
I'm a little bit quirky in that sense where I'll kind of try and watch anything but wrestling and try and get my head out of the game as much as possible. I find that when I think the most about wrestling is when I'm actually not watching it, when I'm, out going for a hike or going for a walk in the park and just trying to get away from it. And then, something will kind of click. But with regards to who I would watch, I think I always have fun watching Rocky Romero. So he's someone that I'll definitely kind of watch when I'm starting to get ready to get back in the ring. I've always clicked with him in the ring. And, I've always enjoyed watching his ring work. And I'll definitely brush up on some stuff when it's time to get back in the ring. But right now, I'm just focused on rehabilitation.
Yeah, and WWE's done a great job getting you great medical care, getting you operated on quickly, the rehab process starting quickly. That's worked so well for so many people, and their track record there is impeccable. So I look for you to have a great recovery and be better than ever. Have your head clear and clean, and it's good not being going through TSA a couple 3 times a week, or more.
Yeah,
not a bad thing. So I look good luck on the rehab and steer the course, man. It's not easy, but you'll do it. And hey, here's the thing: I looked at this. I thought about your situation. I felt badly about it, obviously. And I believe this. I said, well, the thing about Finn has got going for him, he already knows now where he stands. They made you their first Universal Champion. That's a big, big thing. Then, like I said, there'll be others, but there can only be one that was the first, and you were designated that person. You won the match. So it's better than if this had happened down in your early days at NXT. You know what I mean? It's like now you know. Now you know what they think of you, and I think that's wonderful. So it should be motivational as well, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely it's reassuring to know, and there's never a good time to get injured, but I'm trying to look at the silver lining, and 6 months down the line, hopefully there'll be a big comeback. If this injury had happened 2 or 3 weeks earlier, obviously the effects would have been a lot worse. But the way it happened, I guess if it's going to happen, it's a good story to tell when I'm coming back in 6 months' time.
Absolutely. And WWE's brilliance at television, they have a million opportunities to keep the fans and fan base informed of your progress and your journey and where you are on that journey. They can be the GPS for the fans as far as Finn Balor's trip back from rehab to WrestleMania. That's got a ring to it. Rehab to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, Jim.
Oh, well, you can use it. You can use it, kid. I'm all right. I'm not booked. You can have it. You can it's all yours. Hey, listen, man. I really thank you a lot for. I love your work. I was so sorry to see you get hurt, but you got the right attitude. Keep smiling, and your situation is fully repairable, and you can be better than ever. And it just could be. You have to make. You don't have any option. You have to make the best of it.